This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today, in the arena, I once again lose track of how many days the streak has been going. Just kidding. More bad math. No, it is Black Friday. Now, Black Friday, generally speaking, has very little to do with Magic the Gathering. Black Friday is known as Black Friday because it's the day that the retailers' profits go out of the red and into the black because they make so much money from people doing their holiday shopping that now they can actually afford all those expenses of building brick and mortar locations and paying employees. Things in 2020 that just seem outdated now. But the term has stuck. Black Friday is still used in the retail and holiday shopping world, but how could I turn down basically an open invitation to make some content around one of my favorite colors, mono black? So this is my Black Friday mono black deck for the day, maybe a little different from what you expected. Let's start at the top. It is a Lurrus deck. So one deck that continues to stalk the ladder, and I run into this at every level. Platinum, Diamond, Mythic, it's there. It's always lurking. That is the Hateful Eidolon and Deadweight, Mogi's Favor, Mire's Grasp Lurrus deck that kills all your creatures, draws a bunch of cards, then plays the Lurrus and gets back the Mire's Grasp from the graveyard. This deck is amazingly good against small, cheap creatures because tiny creatures getting Mire's Grasp and deadweighted is awesome. However, against any kind of mid-range or control deck where the deadweights and the Mire's Grasps aren't efficient removal spells and instead are undersized and they don't draw cards with the Eidolon or the Eidolon dies, the deck is extremely underpowered. Now in Best of One, there's plenty of rogues and there's plenty of mono red to pick on, so this deck usually can grind out pretty good rankings and have decent success. But I never really found a version of it that I liked because I hated it when I got into a match against, say, a Yorion deck, and I knew without even playing a spell that we weren't going to win that game. Not even a little. But I think I've put together a version that's a little bit more fun, and it has multiple packages. They don't all make sense all the time, so I'm going to try to show you what we got. First of all, we've got the Mire's Grasp, Deadweight, and Mogi's Favor enchantments that when you enchant the opponent's creatures can kill them. Whenever an enchanted creature dies, you draw a card for each aura attached to it. That's the Hateful Eidolon card draw mega engine, and when combined with your Lurrus companion, you can get these cards back over and over. So that takes care of small decks. How do we take care of control decks? Well, I've got some fun stuff here. One thing that I've discovered is that Witch's Oven plus Skyclave Shade is very difficult for them to deal with. Most of the decks run white, they run Skyclave Apparition and Glass Casket. They exile the Shade no problem, but if we have a Witch's Oven, they can't really do that. We just keep putting the Skyclave Shade back in the oven and bringing it back every time we play a land. Hence, we have all these land. It's a crazy amount of land for how low our curve is. 16, 25 land equivalents, kind of. Plus we have card draw and a bunch of cheap stuff. It's kind of amazing. So the Skyclave Shade approach is one way that we try to beat those decks. However, Skyclave Shade isn't fast enough. It won't kill them in a quick enough time frame. So eventually they'll play Dance of the Manse or Yorion or Genesis Ultimatum or some Ultimatum. Since I've done a lot of videos with the ultimatums, I'm seeing a lot of ultimatums these days. How do we beat that? Because those things are just bigger and stronger than our whole game plan put together. The answer is a card I never expected to play. I never expected to play this card. In Best of One. In my deck. Unironically. Necromentia. Necromentia. You can take the Dance of the Manse. You can take the Genesis Ultimatum, whatever the big over-the-top card is, the Yorion, you can take them all out of the opponent's deck. And if they happen to make a 2/2 zombie creature token, well, now you have something to kill with the auras that didn't have any targets otherwise, and if you have a Hateful Eidolon, you can draw cards for doing it. It actually works. It's kind of perfect. The deck does have a good amount of what you would call air. in 3 Witches' Ovens and 3 Necromenches. These aren't card advantage on their own. They're card disadvantage because on their own they don't do anything. So we have to limit the amount of them, and we have to watch out for hands that have too many of each of them. So 3 of each is what we're going with because they play an important role, but you've got to make up the card advantage by using Hateful Eidolon and Luris a lot. Agadeem's Awakening's key because you get back your Luris, which gets back your Eidolon, keeps the chain going. There's a Call of the Death Dweller to supplement that. And Archfiend's Vessel. Sometimes we just go turn 1 Oven, turn 2 Archfiend's Vessel and Malachor Rebirth, and get back a 5/5 on turn 2. And sometimes that's very good. There are decks that have trouble with that. Not many. There's a lot of Blood Chief's Thirst out there, and it's kind of brutal. When we don't have Oven, we do have Village Rites, which we can use to protect our Shade from exile effects and get further ahead in the game. And some Kroxa decks are really annoying, so there's one Soul Guide Lantern that pairs well with Luris to draw some cards as well. I've introduced the whole freaking deck. It took me a minute, and so rather than plug something today, like and subscribe, let's dive in and let the nonsense begin. Is the hand good? I guess we have Call and we have Vessel, right? And these auras may kill things because we're up against Luris. Let's go. I don't have an Oven. I don't have Village Rites, so we're just going to throw this down and rumble. Let's rumble. Thieves Guild Enforcer, I'm sure. We have nothing to do with our mana this turn. So I guess I'll play the Awakening. Might hang on to the Mauling. We may still need even more removal spells. Besides, if they play a non-basic land next turn, like another Pathway, and they did lead on Pathway, we can cast this on the cheap. Which I don't know if I've ever done in Standard. Cast it for 3 instead of 4. It could happen. It's not gonna. Guys. So close. It almost happened, I tell you. I tell you. If they ambush... Let's go with this first. But if they ambush the Vessel with a Soaring Thought Thief, then we can Mire's Grasp it. Could be fun. Besides, we want this escape card into the graveyard. Drown in the Lock. Okay. Sure. So we could kill it. I think we just try to favor it next turn. I think that's better. I really like that Enforcer. They cast Drown in the Lock to protect it. Cling to Dust? No. No, don't. No. Oh, come on. Come on, man. Come on. So salty now. I'm so angry. That's what you get. That's what you get. By the way, they haven't milled any creatures for me yet. You better mill me another escape card too. Oh, Jesus. They just know how to make me angry. That's my escape card though. Oh, don't you have a second Cling. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay. Call. I guess we have a Shade we can play. Not really. I'd rather escape for sure, right? What a drowned machine. What a machine. All right. Well, I should keep making progress with my lands, but I'm going to hold the Rebirth. I would love to get the Vessel back. Double Thieves Guild Enforcer, double Drown in the lock, and we haven't lost the game. Feeling very happy. Feeling accomplished. For not being dead yet. Yes! Keep them coming. Keep them coming. The Cling can't keep up. The Cling will never keep up with the favors. Okay. God. What a scum. What a scumbag. Alright. Can we get an untapped land? We can. We can. Good. Alright, so this goes down to 8 then. Yeah, so we can do this. Now we can just cast a Shade from the graveyard if we want to kill this that way. That is a hell of a way to kill a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Do you guys want to do it? We can just cast this Shade, and this Thieves Guild Enforcer dies. Or we can exile 2 more cards and kill both. If they have another Call the Death Dweller, killing both is really bad. And they did snap it off. You know what's even better? What's even better is if we can call the Death Dweller. And make it the 5/5 demon. Okay, they don't fall for that. Good choice. That's awesome. I don't care who you are, that's funny. Don't worry, we'll get him next turn. We'll get him next turn. Crab? Oh no. Well, now we've got some life total pressure, though. All right, man. We're gonna go to 12, but we can pull 6 cards out. But we also need to Mire's Grasp the Crab, or else it just refills. They could miss their land drop. That is a thing. We hit our land drop. That's pretty cool. Man. But I don't think I have an efficient way to use my lands. Let's see what happens if we attack. Ooh, they take the block with the deadweight. They know about the deadweight and they're taking that block. Wish I could punish them for it. Alright. I'm gonna take a chance that they can't hit a land drop here. That lowers it to 9. We can play 2 Shades, it goes to 7. Oh, there's only 1 Shade? I thought there were 2. Okay. So we have to do this. So now it's down to 7, so they can't sack the Wind Robber. See how that works? Crafty, right? I know. Epic. They hit the land. There's the Lantern. If we can get to it with the Luris, that can clean up their graveyard shenanigans. They might go after one of these favors right now, but man, his favor worked them over. That's most of their turn if they are going to do that, and they are. Okay. So they get a card. They're down to only 1 land, though. There's another land for us. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So we'd have 1 mana left over. Alright, so let's not show our opponent what we're going to do yet. Get your Cling. And now that also shuts down your future Call the Death Dweller. Hold up Malika Rebirth to save the Lurrus. Not what I expected. And there's a Thieves Guild Enforcer. Alright, well. It's one of those things where it's like you can't really play around Lulamage's domination. You've got to put good threats on the board. There are some situations where you can. Anyway, we can kill this and get it back. It's going to be fine. They don't have Drown. Hallelujah. They might have another one of those cards, but we'll put so many threats on the board they can't quite deal. Ooh, we could put a Witch's Oven. No, we have a Village Rites. We're fine. With Village Rites, we're fine. Killer Crab? No, then they have something to get if they do steal the Lurrus. But they can't. Village Rites. Alright, Killer Crab. Life total pressure, baby. For your next trick... They steal that again. Nope, Blood Chief's Thirst. Well, then we can do this. Show them all the toys. Malakir's Rebirth returns to the battlefield. Would you like to try again? Got him! Yes! Rogue's destroyed. Alright, Shade on the play with an Oven. It's good stuff. Good stuff. I always lead with the Oven in these spots because you never know when you're up against Glass Casket. You really just don't know, and that card wrecks you pretty hard. Oh yay, it's a blue deck. Let's go. Shade loves blue decks. Shade Oven. If they don't put stuff on the battlefield. Could be rogues. Let's find out. Okay, we're gonna miss land again. Unless we want to Village Rites our Shade and then get it back. But let's deploy the Eidolons. There might be a creature in the near future. Mm-hmm. Flapity flap flap. Oh yeah, get aggro. Do it. They do have to go aggro a bit. The rogue deck. They've got to get those cards in the graveyard or some of their cards don't work. So now they hold up Drown in the Lock, right? Let's see what they do when we attack. They're going to pick something, target it with their Drown in the Lock, maybe. No. Alright, so they could counter. I think they're sitting on Drown. So they're going to destroy something. They have to. So when they do, we're going to Village Rites it. So we're just going to play the Vessel. Just going to play our little Archfiend's Vessel here. Wait for them to target something. Or they can play another Thought Thief. That's fine too. They have made their choice. Can we find land? Tap lands and another Necromentia. That's not... Ooh, this deck is bipolar. When it hates you, it hates you. This deck hates me right now. It's giving me a hard time. That said, we're in a decent position. Ooh, draw go. What a coward. So do we attack with the Shade and see what they do? We could go for this. If they counter it, it's a pretty sad situation. And they've already used one Drown in the Lock. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. If they have second Drown in the Lock, it's really sad. Come on. God, I hate this deck so much. All right. Do they have a... I guess if they have a Thieves Guild Enforcer, it still can't kill the Eidolon. They could double block it, though. May as well gain this life. I can make a 5/5 with the oven, but I just have no land. It's terrible. And we might have to Necromentia some into the story. Now we attack? Well, there's another shade down there. Yeah, I had a feeling that Xerath, they just kept pawing at my graveyard like a little kid. Oh, what's in there? What's in there? What's in there? I want something. I want something. They're taking my shade? That can't block. Weird. Okay, and they're at 9. Okay. If we had drawn a land there, it would have been awesome. Because we could kill the shade, get back the shade. We might still draw the land. Let's find out. Of course not. Of course not. We'll make the opponent clear the vessel, I think. If they have to remove it, that might be hard. We'll play another shade. These are some interesting games, but I can't stress enough, my deck has turned on me. Like, it is trying really hard to make sure that I do not have easy games. Well, that better stay home. You need blockers. What are you doing? What are you doing? What you got there? Favor. Ooh, where does this go? Well, I guess if Xerath blocks one of these, this can kill the Xerath. But we could also put it here, then they go block, block, take 4. I think it's better to kill the Xerath. Wow, going to 1. Not going to 1. Okay. Get him. Two mana, no landies. Very tempting to deadweight my own creature. All right, they are at 3. They face 3 creatures. No plays. Yeah, they need to flash in some blockers here, right? So, I think we attack with the vessels. We'll sacrifice the one that gets blocked. We hold this back. We can't have this getting ambushed because we need to draw some cards from it. Actually, we'll let the one that gets blocked deal the damage, then go for the deadweight. Down to 2. Well, may I has card and kill Thought Thief? It's only a 1 mana play. Nice. Go Eidolon. Favor. Oh, so close. All right, come on, lands. Enough of is enough, and it's time for a change. Told ya. 3 shades in the graveyard, no lands in the deck. Let's go. Let's go, baby. What do you think they've got? Brazen Borrower? Sure. Now we could throw that in the oven. Let's just let it go to our hand, though. It's kind of the same thing. Except this one doesn't require landfall if it's in our hand. Windwaba. Alright. Wankle. Again? What a monster. Let's see if they choose the sacrifice a creature option to try to get the Eidolon off the field. Making me discard a card, I'll just discard the Shade. Who cares? Each player sacrifices a creature. In response, Oven. Go ahead, sacrifice your Windrobber in response. I'd rather have the card, I think, personally, but I don't know. All 4 shades. Nice. Should we buy Luris? We could also Necromentia into the story. And just not let them back in the game. Maybe Zareth is also a good one. What do you think that last card is? Drown in the Lock is a card. We know they run Zareth. Maybe that's what we're supposed to name. Or maybe we play a whole bunch of Shades, because I don't think they can beat them. If we play 2 Shades, like, how do they get out of it? Really? Brazen Borrower can't block it. If they cast into the story, they only have enough left for, like, land removal spell, which means they'd have to chump with Rankle, and then we play 2 more Shades, and if we draw land, we play 3 Shades, and we're at 20. So just keep the pressure on. Don't do things that don't put pressure on them. Giving them time is how we lose. Myers Grasp. What you got? Maybe I should have led with Necromentia. Just name Drown in the Lock. But it's good enough. Get out, rogues. Not today. Not on Black Friday. It's an ugly 2-lander, but it has everything I want. So, slow. Potentially horrible. But if we top deck a Swamp, it's so good, right? Because we can go Oven, Arcfiend, Rebirth. Oh, it's so slow, though. Let's see what happens. Opponent with a Fabled Passage. Big turn coming up. Will we get the Shade down, or will we end up playing the Oven? There's a Swamp. Maybe I'm supposed to play the Oven anyway, though. Because the thing about the Oven... guys, it protects your Shade, it protects everything from adventure creatures. It actually really messes with their Bone Crusher Giants, because they don't get a free 4/3. Like, let's see what happens. People are usually afraid to kill the Vessel, but with an Oven I can throw it in the graveyard whenever I want to, so maybe they should. Lovestruck Beast. Fun. They played Fabled Passage. This must be adventures. Alright, let's see what they do when we attack. They're gonna block. Okay, that's free 5/5. And we get to kill a 1/1. Nom! Let's also play you. So we're set up to use the Myers Grasp. Opponent will probably play one of these Lovestruck Beasties. Alright, 4 turns till they die. Unfortunately, they can definitely outpace me if things go well. For them. Alright. Really tempting to put this on the Lovestruck Beast, because if they have a Henge, we're just wrecked, but I don't think I can afford to do that. I need to draw cards with the Eidolon. I need to draw into more land. Gonna miss. Big sadness. Let's see, this turns it into a 2-turn clock if we throw this on the demon. Not against a henge, though, which they might have. If they have a henge, this is the biggest slow roll. So things must be much more awkward for them than that. They must be. Okay, not something I would have to think about nearly as hard as our opponent just did, but there you go. There you go. Alright, we have to race them now. Ooh. Let's go. Now this gets through even if they have a henge. It'll be enough damage. It won't save them. And let's see what they do. Can they kill it? Wow. Wow. Nice card to have right there, isn't it? Alright, into the oven you go. We do get to draw some cards. And look, land. So how do we finish this job? We need another demon, I think. As it is right now, the Eidolon has to attack next turn, which is really bad. We can't do anything about this questing beast. Our hand just doesn't allow for it. The hand... We had our demon, but that's all we had. And of course... Frickin' weirdo card like a Crow in War. It sees play in like 1 or 2, but maybe they run a few more these days. As a 1/2 of. Just, ugh. Alright. So we could put the Mogi's Favor on the Eidolon, block the Questing Beast. That would gain us 3 life, draw us a card. That's an option. We could also just Village Rites this thing and try to find something else. I feel like what we have to do here is we have to try to find another cleric and a Malachor Rebirth, but I guess we have an Agadeem's Awakening. So if I'm going to sacrifice this anyway, and we're not going to block anything, we may as well attack here. And just see if they let it through and we gain a free point of life. So that was 100% bluff. Wow. So all those land drops we missed were stacked here. That's really bad. We can gain 3 life. Does it matter? Because if we play a Shade, it just ends up attacking into the beast. And I don't have removal, and this has vigilance anyway. So I guess gaining 3 life is our best play here. Oh man. I thought we had this one. Such an obscure answer to just have at the right moment. This is a really hard matchup. Okay. Okay, guys. We drew 6 lands in a row after missing our 3rd land drop for 2 turns. We weren't meant to win that one. We'll head back. We'll head back to the dojo and regroup. All right, we have another potential Archfiend's Vessel Rebirth thing. We have to draw land, which you saw last game. We got absolutely wrecked for missing 1 land drop and then drew 6 in a row. Let's keep testing fate here and see what happens. Obach the Prey Piercer means it's probably Adventure. Against Adventure, I really want an Oven, which we don't have, but hey, land. Nice. Alright, they do have a giant. Target it. Do it. Nice. Very nice. We'll see if they've got their Brazen Borrow ready to go. So this is a matchup where we really need the Necromentia, because if we don't take out Genesis Ultimatum, we will lose to it. Or we just need them to not be able to remove this demon for a while. It would also be nice if they play an Innkeeper. Nice, nice, nice. So that we get to draw some cards here. And can we not miss land drop number 3 again? Thank you. Appreciate that. Goes a long way with me, you know? Let's also deadweight our own vessel here. It draws another card, puts this in the graveyard so that we can get it back with call. And keep the 5/5s coming, even if they have a borrower. I hope they save it for instant speed. They did last time. The Brazen Borrower, I mean. I hope they wait until my turn so I can Village Rites. Yeah, they think they're so clever with waiting till my turn to make these plays, but I got you. I got you, okay? Keep trying to teach them, man. Keep trying to teach them. What can I do? We still haven't drawn Necromentia. We have 2 turns, 1 turn until Genesis Ultimatum if they have a perfect hand. They need another island. Nice. Another target. Okay. Could buy the Luris this turn. There's nothing in our... There's no creatures in our graveyard. And we need to find 1 more point of damage. Mogi's Favor would do it, but we haven't drawn it yet. And they say good game. Let's see. I mean, is this Genesis Ultimatum? Do I lose now? They scoop. Okay, without lethal on board even. Feels good. Feels good to beat that one without Necromentia. Usually we have no chance. I never want to play against decks like Mono White and Mono Red nearly as much as when I'm playing this deck because of the Eidolon enchantments. So, let's hope. This is probably the biggest key card to the deck, at least against creatures. Skyclave Shade is the biggest against non-creatures. Alright, Fervent Champion. If we play the Eidolon, it will probably get Bone Crushed. But I guess we want to be ready for whatever they play next. Plus, they don't get to deploy Robber of the Rich on time if they do things that way. Oh, I see. And Shock, right? Tell me you also have Shock. Tell me you also have Shock on top of everything else. Oh, Rimrock! Okay, it's on. It is on, baby. Let's slow you down a little bit. As much as I'd love to wait for the 3rd Eidolon on the field. And do we attack? Would I block this? They could have another Rimrock Knight. And they might kill it anyway. I think we just gain the life while we can. I think that's better than hoping to block or dissuade the opponent from attacking. Phoenix of Ash. We're going to need more auras. We haven't drawn enough. We still haven't drawn enough. What's going on? Well, we'll make 4 power of lifelink spread across 4 bodies and go from there, and then next turn maybe we buy Luris. If we do draw another aura, oof. Okay, they're not quitting. I guess they can pump this. They might also have Embercleave, which is a lot, so no blocks. Knight. Rimrock. Malachur Rebirth. That's pretty good with a vessel. But we also have Hagra Mauling. We'll gain some life back, say go. This is an interesting spot for sure. It's possible I should have just held up Rebirth and bought the Luris, but the Mauling stops an Embercleave or a Pumped Phoenix, which is a big deal. Okay, they go with Castle. Do you think that they have a shock? If they had a shock, we would have seen it, right? So let's make a 5/5. We're going to gain 3 life back from attacking here. If they had a shock and they played it right then, it would have been brutal. Name Embercleave, anyone? What is their last card? I really don't know. It might be a land. They're not doing much, that's for sure. Let's just gain that life back. Let's play this untapped, and let's hold up the Mauling. If they can't cleave their way through the Demon, I don't think they can beat the Demon. They might try a double pump on Phoenix, but who cares? Alright. Okay, so now you're not attacking. Neat trick, dude. Alright. Let's go for kill this. The opponent can have their tokens. Let's get that thing off the field. And by George, why not? Why the heck not? Embercleave. Watch it be the only red deck in the history of time without them. Okay, 3. Any weird cards? There's an Ox of Agonis. There's 2 Torbrands. There, now I don't have to worry about that. For once in my life, I'll not be top decked out of this game by an Embercleave, baby. Now we could attack with this and get it back as a 5/5. Tempting, right? Would the opponent block? You feel like they should. Like next turn they might attack with all this stuff. They might threaten to use the castle. I think they plan to attack next turn. But they need to double pump the Phoenix, so they can't attack with the 1/1s on the ground. And if they do attack with those... Okay, that's not happening now. Wow. Okay, dude. Let's do this in response so that they don't get a card, since they're on nothing. Alright, so who wants the... Let's see. We need to block the Phoenix, I think. This can block a 1/1. We could double block the Robber of the Rich. It's not bad. Can't kill both of them. One should be enough for a minute. Two 5/5s. And your Phoenix is in the graveyard now. 5 cards in the graveyard, so they can get it back. Do we play this? If they top deck a Bone Crusher Giant, it would really suck. Oh well. No guts, no glory. We can put the opponent on 1. On 1. On 1. Six will have to do. Haha! You couldn't top deck the Embercleave there, could you? No, you could not. Alright, So if they attack with this, we can let it through, because the most they can do is put us to 2, so they have to hold it back as a blocker. And then even then, they don't have enough blockers, so this game's over. But do they know that? Oh, Mono Red. I'm in the wrong corner! Get in your spot, CGB. What the heck is the matter with you? Good game. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and thank you for watching this video on Black Friday. May your holiday shopping be festive, not stressful. Remember, don't let it stress you out getting gifts. I know that people put a lot of pressure on each other to have the perfect gift and all that stuff. Giving is it should be a pleasure unto itself, and shopping for giving shouldn't be as hard as I think we make it sometimes, because what's really important is love. And what I love is destroying Mono Red. So, Necromentia was a bit of a meme. It had to come out, and I am much happier running more Mogi's Favors, Deadweights, Myers Grasps, and another Call the Death Dweller, and I think that this is the better version of the deck, 100%. But here's the weird thing. If you're going to play this deck in Mythic, you're not going to face a lot of mid-range and ramp decks, because the aggro decks are so prevalent, rogues and mono red are so prevalent, that they just destroy those decks. So nobody plays them. So you're going to play against mono red and rogues a lot, as well as various other Edgewall, Innkeeper, and green strategies. So against those decks, you don't need Necromentia. So if you play Mythic, probably High Diamond as well, this is the version you should run. If you're going to do this in play queue, let's have a talk. Let's have a talk, guys. I don't build my decks to dominate the play queue. I see you. I see all of you with my decks in, like, the decks I feature. They're not always my builds. Like, I net deck sometimes too. We all know that. But I see these builds in the best of one play queue all the time. All right, all the time. That's not what they're made for. You can play them there, but that's not what they're made for. So don't complain to me when you lose to random nonsense, because that's not what I'm metagaming against. If you play this in play queue, you should 100% try out Necromentia, because naming Genesis Ultimatum or Dance of the Manse or Yorion might win you those games, right? Those mid-range and over-the-top decks, naming Ugin, for example, against the big red Ugin deck, like, that matters. But you're going to play those in play queue. In Mythic, you're going to play a lot of aggro. You need a different build. Like, I'm not going to give you all the different builds for the play queue all the time, but it's important to think about what you get matched up in play queue is a lot different from what I get matched up in Mythic. It's the way it is. Any other people who watch this channel who play Mythic a lot, they would say the same, I bet. Sound off in comments. You can let me know if you disagree. But just something to think about. Where are you playing the deck? And it's totally fine. I'm not telling you not to play it in play queue. Some people are going to try to tell you, you should never play such and such a deck from Mythic in play queue. I'm not going to tell you that. You get to make your own decisions. Nobody gets to tell you where and how to play the decks that you're going to play. But I don't build optimally for those situations. So make some adjustments. As opposed to, going into comments and complaining about how you lost 5 in a row to some, like, big red nonsense. That big red deck's actually good. I'm just joking. Anyway, this is the version I would play for Mythic ranking, and the version at the beginning of the video is probably better for the play queue. And on that note, go get you some 2-for-1 deals like a Call of the Death Dweller on Black Friday. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Please subscribe and help us get to 100K. Goodbye.